Like this?
Like we're playing patty cake.
Oh, that takes coordination.
Yeah.
Hey, well then.
Hey, welcome back. Welcome to the Bill and Frantz show. I'm Frantz.
I'm Bill, and we got a special guest today, Gene Bertram. He is both a clockmaker and a cyclist, and has lots of strong opinions. See you soon.
And we will be right back.
Welcome to the Bill and Frantz show. We got a guest today, Gene Bertram. Welcome, Gene.
Thank you.
Gene,
Good to be here.
How you doing?
Doing good.
Good, man. I'm very interested because I'm looking at this clock right here, and I could tell it's in the glass, and it's a really nice clock. But how did you get into clock repair?
Well, I've always been a fixer. Since I was a little kid, I liked taking things apart and occasionally putting them back together and making them work. Okay. And I've also enjoyed taking old grungy things and cleaning them up and making them shine and looking pretty. So this was kind of a good fit for me to get into repairing clocks, because there aren't a lot of people that do that. But I learned fairly early on in this business that my job is it's less about repairing mechanical objects and more about restoring memories.
Okay.
What do you mean by that?
Well, people come to me and they bring me a clock and they say, this clock belonged to my grandpa or my Aunt Ethel. And when I was a kid, I remember going to their house and the clock would be on the mantle and ticking and I'd hear it strike. And when I hear it now, it reminds me of them and those times. And so that's how I kind of approach the clock repair with a lot of respect for the stories behind the clocks, not just the mechanical object itself.
Nostalgia.
A nostalgia, yeah. Mm-hmm. And so it was a really interesting, I find it an interesting field to be in. It allows me to work with my hands and my head. I get exposure to people as well as a good deal of time sitting by myself. And it's such a lot of fun for me.
So does this include antique clocks?
Yes. Most of the clocks I work on are older, at least 40, 50 years old. A lot of the mechanical clocks that are made today, the vast majority of them are made in Germany by about 2 or 3 companies.
Okay.
And all the companies that make mechanical clocks buy their movements from those 2 companies and put the movements in their clock. They're just basically furniture companies that make the cases.
I saw a lot of clocks in Germany, and I'm talking about really detailed clocks.
Elaborate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I've never seen, I've seen them made there, but I've never seen them here. So,
well, most people know Germany and think of Germany with the cuckoo clock.
Okay.
Which is where they come. They originated in the Black Forest area of Germany.
Okay.
I did not know that.
Yeah, almost all of them are still made there. Historically, Japan actually made some cuckoo clocks after the war, but historically, cuckoo clocks pretty much all come from Germany.
Because Hitler was cuckoo.
There you go.
So
I never put those 2 together.
That's cool. That's real cool. So it's not a dying art.
No, the art itself is doing quite well, thank you. It's the practitioners, unfortunately, who are dying.
Okay.
An example, about 20 years ago, I went to my first board meeting with the American Watchmakers Institute. Okay. And at the time, I was one of the young kids there. Today, I'm on the board, and almost everyone who was on the board for that meeting is dead.
Wow. So
there's been a lot of a lot of stories and knowledge and history lost through there, but I'm on the board because I like to give back to the community that I belong to. As an example, another example of that is 5 years ago I was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, and in looking at a way to give back to that community, I got involved. The American Diabetes Association does a bike ride fundraiser, a charity ride. Every year called the Tour de Cure, because with bicycling everything has to be a tour to something.
Right.
Tour de France, you've got the Tour de Donut, the Tour de Stooges, you've got the Tour de Cure. But the Tour de Cure is, I captain a team called Team Red St. Louis, And when we started out 4 years ago, it was myself and my sister, and we raised about $500, I think. And we thought we were really, we really did good with that. This year, my goal is to have 50 people on the team and raise $10,000.
Is there a website that where people can go to help you?
There is. If you go to just diabetes.org, very, very easy to remember. Scroll down the page. There's Tour de Cure right on the side there. You can click there. The St. Louis Tour de Cure starts and ends at the Raging River Water Park in Grafton, Illinois.
Okay.
There's 4 distances you can ride, 15, 30, 50, and 100 miles. The 30 is really almost completely flat, and if the weather and the river cooperates, there's a ferry ride. So you can take the ferry across and back, which is a lot of fun.
Which ride are you going to take?
Well, last year I tried to do the 100-mile ride for the first time.
100 miles.
Unfortunately, according to my bike computer, the temperature got to be 115 degrees.
Woo!
They just blacktopped some of the roads.
Oh.
So I made it to 84 and decided there was a big tree there and a bunch of cyclists under the tree. And I asked if the SAG van was coming to pick people up. They said yes, and I said, I'm done.
83 is still good.
Yeah,
for sure.
So my goal this year is to do the 100 miles in a little over 5 hours. That's what I'm training for.
On that note, I think we should take a break. And we'll come back and have more discussion, some hot topics. Stand by.
I have one simple question. What the hell is wrong with you? Huh? I just read in the paper today that this guy buried his fiancée alive because he got bored with her. Thank God that she got out with the diamond ring that he got her. She dug herself out the grave, and now he's doing 20 years in prison. Good for him. Idiot. Because let me tell you something. I'm getting sick and tired of turning on the news and seeing that either somebody's trying to kill their mate or they're trying to kill their kids. It's ridiculous. If you got those type of issues, go get some help. Because if you left it up to me and I was supposed to get you some help, my help would be my boot in your behind. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what you need. That's what you need right there. Consequences and repercussions. Consequences and repercussions. Because I'm getting sick and tired of this. You know what? Wake up and smell the coffee. Because simple fact is, if you do it, you're going to jail. Or you're going to die. One of the two. But you don't have to take nobody with you. Don't kill your kids. Don't kill your girlfriend. Don't even try it. I can't believe I'm even telling you or giving you this type of advice. Because something in your head should tell you, it ain't normal to want to kill your girlfriend or your kids. That's not normal. Do normal people think those things? I don't think so. So, before you decide to go and do something like that, reevaluate what you're trying to say and think, and do it different, idiot. Because you know what? If you attempt it and try it, you deserve the full-fledged arm of the law. And I hope they get you. I hope they get you. And matter of fact, let me go right now because I'm so perturbed and disturbed with you idiots right here. Only thing I got to say is, to hell with ya. To hell with ya.
Welcome back. Welcome back to the Bill and Frantz Show. We're going to go ahead and get into hot topics. And Whitney Houston is at the top of the ladder. What do y'all think about that, man?
What do I think about it? I'm not terribly surprised that she passed away. Everyone's talking about how wonderful she was until she got together with Bobby Brown. I'm not convinced she was wonderful before Bobby Brown, but
right.
And then there's a controversy. People are like, "Oh, how dare they fly the flag half-mast?" And I don't see any problem with that. If you're fond of anybody that you're fond of, I think it's okay to do it. I'm sure Gene has an opinion.
Well, I think that flying of flags at half-mast may be a little overkill. Whitney Houston, in my opinion, had one of those rare, majestic voices. Mm-hmm. I would put her with, not even Aretha, but Pavarotti. In terms of the majesty of her voice. Mm-hmm. She unfortunately, apparently, had real self-image problems that allowed her to get involved with Bobby Brown, and just even after he was out of her life, she kept spiraling down.
Right.
So is it surprising that she died young? No. Is it sad? Absolutely.
Of course.
Absolutely, yeah.
Is it a national tragedy? Not so much.
It's to me, it's almost like
Showbiz.
Showbiz. But she had a great voice, and a lot of people want to blame Bobby Brown. From what I understand, they're saying that she was into stuff prior to Bobby Brown, but I don't think we would ever know. But I will say this about Whitney Houston: she will be missed as a great singer, because I mean, I listened to the national anthem that she did. I think what was that in 91,
I think 92, somewhere
Yeah.
early 90s.
Early 90s.
Yeah.
I haven't, and then I've listened to other national anthems with other stars. I haven't heard anything like that. Since.
Nobody nailed it like she did.
Right, so she was definitely a great voice, and I don't know if there's anybody out there with that caliber of a voice now, but she will be missed. Her family's gonna miss her. Her daughter. Hopefully everything will be okay. And the controversy was they didn't want Bobby Brown to go to the funeral either. I kind of felt like he should go. She would want him to go.
Of course. Well, whether her mom likes it or not, he's family. And
Right,
that's the truth of the matter. If you're going to have 1,500 guests, you can't not have the husband or ex-husband there.
Or at least the daughter's daddy there. You know.
Also, another way of putting it, he's family,
He's
whether
family.
you like it or not.
On the other hand, I think if there is an issue of abuse,
Yeah.
you know, Chris, what's his name with Rihanna?
Chris Brown.
Chris Brown. There was controversy around him being on the Grammys
Yes.
after him beating up Rihanna.
Right.
Right.
If the person has changed,
Redemption.
redemption is possible. It is incredibly hard for an abuser to change.
That's true.
I mean, a psychologist will tell you that.
Mm-hmm.
So there, I can see both sides, depending on, since I don't know the backstory of what he's like nowadays.
Right. Hopefully everything will be all right. Hopefully her family will be okay. The daughter's okay. We'll pray for the family, and there's not really too much we can say too much more about when it comes to Whitney Houston.
Okay, you want to move on to politics?
Yeah, we can definitely move on to that whole Catholic and contraception thing. That is it's intense right now.
It sure is, right now as we speak. So, just to refresh, correct me if I'm mistaken, the Obama administration decreed that the employees of Catholic-run organizations need to be provided with contraception as part of their health care plan. So then all the big important men in the Catholic Church said, no, that's written. Everyone freaked out about that. So Obama changed it so that they still have to provide it instead, but the healthcare providers have to provide it for free so that the church doesn't have to pay for it. And that was the compromise. Is that correct?
Basically, I would correct one word, or change one word. You said Catholic organizations.
Okay.
And I would change it to Catholic businesses.
Fair enough.
Because if the Catholic Church still doesn't have to, under the new rulings, they cannot provide it. But the ruling was that if a religion gets involved in a for-profit business, they essentially have to follow the same rules as every other for-profit business.
Okay.
No pun intended with the profits.
Didn't even get it.
Okay.
No, but that was really good.
So what do you think? What's your thought?
I kind of just feel like, he compromised, and there's still argument about it. But then I also hear that 3/4 of Catholic women are on contraception. So I'm wondering, what is the big deal? Mm-hmm. Seriously, what's the big deal? Because if these women do not want to have kids and they want to use contraception to prevent that, so what?
Well, if I can play devil's advocate.
Absolutely, that's why we're here.
Most birth control methods that are not barrier methods, like condoms, for instance, are what you would probably call abortifacients. They don't prevent fertilization, they prevent implantation.
Okay.
So if you view the fertilized zygote, the fertilized egg, as a human being, anything that prevents it from implanting in the womb would therefore be causing an abortion and taking a human life.
Okay.
The Catholic Church's viewpoint is they come from 2 points. First of all, you can't do that. You can't abort, period.
Okay.
And secondly, sex is only for making babies.
Not pleasure?
No.
Oh.
No. Just baby making, boys. So theologically, they are stuck.
Okay.
If that's your basis, you cannot be party to any kind of birth control that causes this sort of thing. The fact that the vast majority of Catholics disagree with them is to them irrelevant.
Wow.
So what Obama did was actually quite clever. I think it was done on purpose. He first said you have to pay for it, knowing that there was going to be a minor nuclear explosion. And then he said, all right, we'll just have the insurance company supply it for free. You're not paying for it at all. And they went, oh.
Yeah, it's you always overbid. Now I'm not the kind of person that normally sides with insurance companies because, well, you've probably heard me rant about a little bit of insurance here and there.
Suck my tumor. Go ahead.
But in this case, it does put the burden awkwardly on the insurance companies, and you know what they're going to do. They're going to redistribute the costs somehow.
It actually saves them money.
Because
birth control is cheaper than birth. So they want to provide birth control for free because it costs them money.
There you go.
They were happy with the Obama administration's compromise.
There you go.
That's right.
Excellent answer.
A friend of mine, and this is a female, she goes, why are they tripping off my rights? I said, are you a Catholic? She said, no, they're not talking to you. What are you talking about?
Well, unless you're an employee.
Yeah.
Okay, if you're an employee, but she was like, her point was, she goes, why don't they go after those priests?
Well, there you go.
Messing with them little boys and leave women's rights alone.
Yeah, I don't want to hear people who, abuse little boys telling me what my morals should be.
Right. When I look at all this stuff, I don't know, contraception, all this different medical, everybody's in everybody's business. I think that a woman should have a right to do what she want to do, whether she's Catholic, Buddhist, Mormon, or whatever. I think she can do what she want to do. Because us men, we do what we want to do.
But don't you feel that if you truly believe that abortion is murder,
okay,
that you have a moral and ethical responsibility to try to eliminate abortion?
That is why it's controversial.
Oof.
It's still unsolved 30 years later, 40 years later.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's not a question for me because as far as abortion is
Yeah,
concerned.
right. Good answer.
Because you're not going to have one?
Exactly.
Nice out.
Yeah, definitely. I think at that point we should probably wrap it up. Nice out. Thank you, Gene, for joining us today.
You're very welcome. Thank you guys for having me.
Always. Let's come back next week to see more Bill and Frantz show. Thanks a lot.
Yes.